Right, so hey guys, and welcome back to another Python tutorial. In this video I'm just going to be finishing up the previous tutorials we made, so the series where we created graphical system using Python. So this is going to be the last video on that, and in this video I will show you how to give the user a session and also create, delete and view nodes. So without further ado, let's begin. I'm just going to navigate to the folder where I have everything saved. If you remember, we need to have a register program where we've saved everything, the progress till now. If you haven't watched the videos before, I would recommend you do, because these videos depend on each other. So if you haven't watched the one before, this wouldn't make sense to you. Anyway, I'm going to be linking all the videos in the description. So what we want to do now is once you get a login success, or the user is successfully logged in, we want to create a new function called a session. So every time a user logs in, he will be given a session. So if I could spell session. Okay, so we're going to create session. We're going to call session down here, since that's the function we're going to be using, and then we're going to create screen 8 and we'll assign it to top level screen, if I'm not wrong. Okay, we're just gonna run this real quick just to check if it works. I haven't touched this program in a long time, so kind of starting to forget the variables and stuff. I'm just gonna try and log in. Oops. Okay, it works. Anyway, what we want to do now is give screen 8 a title, and we'll just call this dashboard for now. So after that, we're gonna resize that to, let's say, 400 by 400. And once we're done with that, we're gonna create a label. So a new label, text equals welcome to the dashboard, dot pack obviously, and then we're gonna have the different buttons which are gonna carry out the different functions on this program. So the first button is gonna be to create a note, so text equals create, let's just do a capital C, create note. Okay, the second button is gonna be to view notes, and the last button is gonna be to delete a note. You can use all the information I'm showing you guys here to create your own program, so you don't have to entirely copy what I'm doing, but this is just to give you a rough idea. So we do dot pack to put them in the middle instead of having to place them. And then another important thing is you need to tell where the button's gonna go, and the same for the label. So it's gonna be placed on screen 8, since we're starting to have more than one screen. Otherwise it's gonna jumble it up and put it on the first screen, which is not gonna be good. Just put screen 8 comma in front of everything. Probably should have done that before. Okay, so now we're gonna run this real quick just to check if we have all the buttons that we created. Log in real quick. Screen 8. Okay, I did a spelling error for one of them, so if I put the R there, it should be fine now. There we go. So as you see, once you log in, you have all the different functions right here now. These are going to be the 3 functions we're going to be designing for this software. Let's begin with creating the first function, which is going to be create notes. So def create notes. The reason I like making function is everything remains nice and neat. That's the main reason I like doing it anyway. So we're going to give this a command, and it's going to be create notes. So anytime the user presses this, it's going to call this function here. We're going to obviously copy this again, and then we're going to paste it here. So we're going to call this info, and then we're gonna make it a bit more smaller, probably 300 by 250. And in this one, what we need to gather from the user is the name of the file so he can name his note, and obviously the content that is going to sit in the file. So for that, we need to have a label. Label is going to sit on, by the way, you need to change this to a 9 so that we don't rewrite again. So we do screen 9 comma text equals please enter a file name for the notes below. Okay, and then we do .pack on there, and with that we're gonna create a raw file name variable and assign it to string variable. We're also gonna globalize it so we can call it from another function later. It's gonna make sense in a second now. Raw file name, and then we put global in front of that so we can access it from any function. Once we're done with that, what we're gonna do is also create another global. We'll say raw notes, and then the raw notes will equal string variable as well, which is going to be carrying the information that the user enters. We could take this and put it up here. It shouldn't be a problem. Okay, Control Z. Put this up here. Shouldn't make any difference, but anyway, it looks a bit more clean and more logical. So we're gonna do an entry, and the entry is gonna sit on screen 9, where the text variable is going to be equal to the raw file name. So any information that is entered in here is going to be stored into this temporary variable right here. So this is going to be the file name, and then we just copy these two lines again because it's going to be pretty similar what we're going to do next. And we're going to say please enter the notes for the file below. Okay, once we're done with that, we're just going to change this to raw notes, which is right here. So anything entered in here should be saved right there. It's all logical. So lastly, we're going to create a button, which is going to save everything. So button text equals save, and then the command will be save. Oh, oops. Just going to close that, and then we do a .pack on there. Forgot to do a .pack on the entry, so we might as well do that, or we're going to receive an error. And with that, we also need to create a new function called save, and we'll say, for now we're just going to say print saved. We'll run this real quick just to check if it works. Login 1 2 3. Okay, so we're going to create a note, and as you see right here, we have a nice little panel showing up saying info, please enter a file name for the note below. We'll say the file name is going to be new notes for now, and then the notes are going to be hello world. Oh, the button hasn't shown up for some reason. Text button. Oh, okay, the reason why is we forgot the screen 9. So the next time we run this, it's surely going to show up. I'm just going to close all the tabs for now, and then we're going to move on to programming the save button, which is actually going to do the job. So we're going to say file name equals open file name equals raw file name dot get. So we're getting the information now from the other function, and then we'll say notes equals raw dot get. So in here we're going to have the information that is being entered right here. So once we're done with that, what we want to do is open a new variable called data equals open file name comma in read mode. Okay, and then when it's open, so basically what's going to happen now is we're creating a new variable called data, and we're opening a new file called file name, it's not going to have an extension, so no one else can open it outside this program. And then it's going to be open in write mode, so we can write data to it. So we're going to do data.write the notes that we're being given, and then we're also going to do data.close. Okay, so it's going to close the file once everything's done. And then we're going to do a quick prompt saying print. Actually, we can just do a quick function that will show, since we're all of this is going to be GUI, so we might as well just create a quick screen that is going to say saved. I'm just going to copy this, go back here, paste it there, saved. We'll just do a 100 by 100, and then we'll say saved, change that to 10, and we'll change that to 10 as well. So now when we run this program, let's log in. We've logged in, we're going to create a note. The file name is going to be first note, and the content's going to be hello world. We save, and as we see right here, we have a prompt saying save. If all went right, hopefully it's going to have a new note called first note. There we are. So we have a note called first note. We can't currently see it because obviously it does not have a extension. So if we do .txt, if we open it, we have hello world. So phase 1 of this program is working all good. We're going to take off that so it can only be read by this program. Yes. And now we need to design the view notes button. So what was the function for that? We go back to session and we do a command equals view notes. So we create another function here where we're going to do view notes. Below that, we're just going to copy some information from here. Copy that, paste. So screen 11, change that to 11 again, and then we'll change this to 11 as well. So instead of calling this dashboard, we're going to call this info again. We're saying instead of this, we're just going to be doing 250 by 250, and then the text is going to be, we don't really need a heading in this, so it's more likely to be label screen 9 equals, wait, hold on, command text. Actually, in this phase, what we're going to do is show the existing files to the user. For that, we're going to have to import OS, so make sure you have OS imported. Type in import OS, and then we're going back to the view notes, and then we're going to do all files equals os.list directory, and then we're going to do label screen 11 comma text equals all files, and then .pack. We're also going to do another label on the top. We're going to paste that and say please use one of the file names below. And then after that we need, okay, I'll just show you, since you might get confused at this point what's going on. We're just gonna run this. We log in like usual. Oh my god. Yes, we're logged in. We view notes and label is not defined. Okay, my bad. This is the most annoying thing about programming, that you make one mistake and you can pretty much mess up the whole thing. So we're running this all over again. We're viewing the notes, and as we see right here, we have a list of all the files that we have in our directory. So first note form, hello there, new notes, register, So pretty much everything which is in here. We're just gonna delete all these so we don't have too much garbage in here. Delete. Okay. So now if we were to view note again, as we see right here, we only come up with the form validation, main and register, which are the 3 py files that we have in there. We're gonna create a note for now. First note obviously, and then hello world once again, and then we're gonna save that. We're gonna close this as well, and when we click on view note we should see another one called first note, as we see right here. So when we click on view note, we're gonna have an entry box where the user is gonna enter the file name that he wants to open, and when he presses the file name it should pop up with the content from the file. Okay, it's pretty easy. What we need to do is create a entry box and the text variable. So we create a text variable called raw file name 1, and we'll equals that to a string variable, after which we also create a entry where it's gonna sit on screen 11, and the text variable is going to be set to the variable we just created, so raw file name 1, and that should be it for this part. And we also create a button in the end which is going to have command equals view notes 1, and then the text which is going to be okay dot pack. Also gonna pack this so we don't have trouble later. We also need to make a raw global raw file name 1, or we won't be able to access it later. So once we're done with that, we're going to move on to the second phase of view notes. So I'm just gonna copy some of this because it's mostly very similar. Copy, paste, view notes 1. So notes, just gonna make this 400 by 400 for now, and then we're gonna do this is gonna be screen 12, and then we're gonna copy the labels from here. Oops, copy, not cut. And then before we do anything, we're gonna grab the file name 1, which is gonna be raw file name 1.get. Once we have that information, we can move on to opening the file. So data equals open file name 1. This time we're opening in read mode because we do not want to write any data to it. And then data 1 equals data.read, and then we're gonna have all the data in there. And then once we're done reading all the data, we need to do data.close. I mean, that's not really essential, but we can do it anyway. We'll do that in the end. So right now what we want to do is, instead of showing up the text, please use one of the file names below, we're gonna do data1. So the content inside the content which is inside the text file or the note. I'm just gonna run this, login. What? Oh, I just deleted all the files, didn't I? Makes sense. So we're gonna register again. User 123, register success, login. User 123, and we're gonna view a note, and we're gonna view first note. Why is the button didn't show up again? Probably we've done something wrong again. So view notes, okay. Like always, we forgot to write screen 11 here, so that's why the button hasn't shown up, and without the button you can't really do much. View notes first note. Okay, data 1. Not really sure what it's done right there, to be honest. Data 1. Where is it getting that information from? Let me just check this out real quick. As we see right here, it's reading the data. Oh, okay, that makes sense. We have quotation marks here, so it's just printing data 1 instead of reading the variable. Just gonna run that again. Login, user 123, login again, view notes. Go to first note, please work. First note, okay. And there we go, perfect. We're all good for now. As you see, hello world once again is showing up. So we can close that, and we finally can work on a final function which is called delete notes. We go back to session and give it a command of delete notes or delete note. So what this function should do is essentially delete all the notes. So how we're going to delete all the notes, actually we're just going to delete the notes that the user asks us to delete. So we're going to have to create two functions like before. So we're going to def delete notes, and then it's essentially going to be the same as view notes. So we're just going to copy and paste that, change this to 12 pretty much everywhere. We're gonna need this as well. So label 1 below, screen 12, and we change this to raw file name 2 instead of 1 this time, so that works as well. Otherwise we're going to be overwriting the variable for no reason. Okay, so we have raw file name 2. So we have, after we're done with that, we're going to do definition delete note 1, and then we're going to paste this, and that's going to be pretty similar to this, and we're going to copy that, paste it right here. File name 3 equals file name 2 dot get file name 3 comma read. The rest can stay like that. Screen 13 actually screen 12's already taken, so we might have to change this to screen 13. Screen 13 here, and then this would change to screen 14. Screen 14. Okay, so instead of reading or showing anything to the user at this point, what we're gonna do is delete the file. So we take this off, and we do os.delete. I'm not actually sure what this is going to be. I'm just going to wait for a quick second. os.remove. So we're going to do os.remove file name 3. Hopefully that works. File name 3. Run this. Okay, wait, hold up. Before that, we're just going to do the text equals file name 3 plus removed. Run this. I'm pretty sure we might have at least one error at this point. 1, 2, 3, login, delete notes, first note. Raw file name 1 is not defined. File name 1. File name 1. Which line? Line 51. File name 1. Okay, let me try and look for the raw file name 1, and then we'll see where the error is persisting from. it's right here, but that is in view notes. I'm not sure why it's interrupting with the... Oh, actually, give me a sec. View note command equals view notes 1. No wonder. So this changes to the delete note 1 instead, because it's calling the other, because before it was calling view notes function, and then that's where the variable messes up. Sometimes that's the problem with copying and pasting. First note, and then we click OK, and then as we see right here, it says first note removed. We will really be able to see that right now if we go back to our directory, and as we see right here, first note has been removed. Anyway guys, that was it for today's tutorial. Hope you've enjoyed this series. I'm pretty sure that this was quite a long series since we've taken some time to explain the different stuff to you. Hopefully we will be making a different project like this in the future with better graphics and a better interface, but this was really I kept it as easy as possible for the beginners so that they couldn't have any trouble understanding it. Sorry if the tutorial was really long. Please make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe, and help me reach my target subscribers of 1000. I will also be uploading a lot more videos now based on PHP and web development and designing, because that's the new series I'm going to start on my channel. Just before I start that series, if you'd like to get me to create any other Python tutorials, please let me know in the description, in the comments I mean, or we won't have any opportunity for that. And I will see you in the next one. Peace out.